Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Average Joe Dividends YouTube channel. If you've been following this journey, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe so that you do not miss future videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my budget for January 2024. We're going to go over my expenses, my income, my gap, and my net worth. So let's just go over to the expenses first, and we'll see right off the bat there were I had some medical issue, had pneumonia in January. Then this is the last of the medical expenses for my dog. He's doing a lot better, but just right off the bat I got hit with over $2,000 in expenses. And then the monthly expenses for my son. He goes to college and I help him out with his expenses. And we'll just take a look at some of the other expenses here. This expense was lower because I just purchased a home. I actually built a very modest 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. And so I only had to pay for the last week of my apartment rent. So that's why my housing costs are low. So that helped to offset these expenses here. This is part of my sickness. Looks like there's some x-rays they had to take. That was $39 there. And nothing really out of the ordinary in expenses. That was dog food, fresh dog food, very expensive. But really, I kept my expenses really low here. And I kind of put in some highlights here. I only ate out at a restaurant twice for the month. That really helped to keep my expenses low, as well as the move. So it won't be until March where my new housing expenses are going to show up, and they're going to be around the $1,200 mark for the mortgage, and the property taxes will take a year to catch up. So my housing expenses will go up, but not as high as they were over at the apartment that I had. And the reason is I put 40% down on the home. And we'll take a look at let's take a look at the income. And last month, what I did was I kind of separated my W-2 income and just did all of the like my dividends and things like that, and then later on added in my W-2 income. And to me that didn't make sense, just kind of looking at it. So I just combined them. So I'm just going to go through all my income sources. There are quite a few of them, but I only got 2 W-2 paychecks in those. But we'll just go over those really quickly. I have a Capital One account where I do most of my spending through, so it's mostly just a holding place to pay my bills. So very small interest paid for the checking and savings account there. And this is ADP was a dividend, so you're going to see a whole bunch of dividends in there. Most of my videos I do are the dividend stocks that I invest in and just showing the dividends I'm getting paid. So this kind of goes over those as well. And Swag Bucks, I do surveys in the mornings a lot of times. Rather than just kind of waste time browsing the internet or whatever, I'll just do a couple surveys and make some money. So you're going to see quite a few of these. And there was a total just for the surveys, I got paid $105 for the month of January, which is nice. That's real money. That adds up. And I'll leave a link below to a link if you want to sign up to Swag Bucks. Doesn't cost you anything, and it'll give me a little bit of a bonus. So I'd really appreciate that. It'd be a great way of supporting the channel. And then Allstate, Best Buy, HP, Kimberly-Clark, Pepsi, those are all dividends. And what I do with these dividends is I don't spend them. I just put them right back into that stock from which it was received. So in this case with Pepsi, I put $13.08 right back into Pepsi. So the next time these stocks pay me, they're going to pay me even more. And these are quarterly payers. So in April, they're going to pay more. All of these will, as I reinvested these dividends. Here's Synchrony. This is savings account interest. And this was the holding place for my down payment on the home, and the down payment was about $120,000, and so I'm left with about $80,000. So this interest is going to go down definitely for next month. It's going to be in the $500 range is what it's going to be in. And then the month after that, it's going to be in about the $300. So then Merck, that's also a dividend. And here's another survey. And then here's a paycheck. I started putting these in this column, the income column, and not segregating the dividends and surveys and things like that. I just combine them all because it's all income at the end of the day. And of course, this is net of taxes as well as my 401k contribution. And then here, Illinois Toolworks, that is a dividend. This is a dividend as well. Costco paid a special dividend of $15 per share. They don't do it every year. So usually my Costco dividend is just a couple dollars every quarter. Then Medtronic, that's a dividend. Realty Income, it's a monthly paying dividend. Dividend again. Here's some more surveys. 20, 10, so $30 more in surveys. Digital Realty is a dividend. Here's another $15 for surveys. Dividend. Little gift here, and the last paycheck of January. And here's my big dividend payer. It pays me every month. BlackRock Science and Technology Trust, or also known as BST. And I reinvested those dividends, so next month it'll be about $453. So every month I keep rolling that back into BST, and it's going to pay me more and more until I decide to actually take that cash back and realize it into like a savings account or something like that, or just spend it. JP Morgan Chase, this is another dividend, and last payment was a survey. So you can see the total of my income, the total of my expenses, and we'll scroll over here. So the gap for the month was $3,099.40. So that is extra money that I will have in my account that I can use to reinvest. Of course, again, those dividends were reinvested already, but I was left with more cash to save or invest, which is great. So let's just take a look at some of the highlights. I put those in the italics, and I kind of went over a couple of them before. Like I only had to pay for 1 week of my apartment costs. And just to let you know, for like my credit card balances, I pay those off in full. I do not carry a balance over the month, so I don't pay any interest on that. And my card is a 2% cash back. I should probably start putting those cash back rewards in here, because technically it is income, because it's going to take off of my expenses. So maybe next month I'll show that. And one thing to lower my expenses, I use Mint Mobile. I think it's a great service. I'll leave a link below if you want to sign up. It's about $20 per month when you add in the taxes, but that's a whole heck of a lot cheaper than the service I used before, which was AT&T, and I was paying about $100 per month. So that really lowered my wireless services. Again, surveys paid me $105. I'll leave a link below to Swagbucks. It's a great way to earn some extra cash. You can get gift cards or just cash that goes straight into PayPal. And the total of my dividends was $611. So just for owning stocks and doing nothing else, $611 just showed up into my account. And again, I could have taken that as cash and spent it on expenses. But again, I reinvested it back into those companies, so those dividends are going to just keep on going up and up. And another highlight of the month was I purchased a home, and I put 40% down. And again, I only ate at a restaurant twice for the month, so I was really trying to hold back on my expenses. Of course, $2,000 of that I really couldn't help because of pet medical and as well as my own medical. And there's going to be another medical bill for next month. Now it'll be about $600 will be my expenses. So you just really can't control some of these expenses. So really the best you can do is try to keep your income up and try to reduce the expenses that you can control, such as eating out at restaurants or other things that you can control, like maybe using Mint Mobile or something like that to control your expenses, because there's going to be a lot of expenses that you just cannot control. So I have a little pie chart here. You can see the pet was about 50% of my expenses for the month. That's going to change for next month. and we'll see what takes up most of my expenses for next month. Since I have a home, there's going to be some expenses in there. I have to buy a new bed, little things like that. So we'll see what appears in my expenses. So to wrap it up, I'm going to go over my net worth. I track this monthly, and I have an account over at Vanguard. I have a taxable as well as an IRA, and the total for that account was $394,000. I have an M1 account, M1 stock brokerage account, that's an IRA, $587,300. Here's my 401k balance, $77,500. And my savings, it was at one time, it was at about $200,000, but I deployed $120,000 as a down payment on my home, so I'm down to $80,000, $80,500 into my Capital One account, which I just used for paying bills and shuttling money around pretty much, so only have $5,000 there. My M1 taxable account, and that's where you're seeing most of these dividends rolling in. That's right here at $228,000. And then I've added in a line for home equity, and you can see my total net worth just shy of $1.5 million at $1,497,300. And I've added a line here to measure the change from December 2023, and there was an increase in my net worth of $27,100. Of course, not all months are going to be increases. Some months my net worth is going to go down, because if the stock market takes a tumble, goes down 5-10%, then my net worth is going to for sure take a dive, because it's really heavily reliant on what the stock market is doing. And then here is a startling one. This is amazing. This is the change in 1 year. From January 2023, my net worth has gone up over $203,000. So, and I'll leave a link below for this sheet if you want to copy this format to track your own expenses and your income and just track your own progress. You can see I have month to month, and I started doing these videos back in June 2023. So let me know in the comments below, how did your month go? How did January go for your expenses, for your income? And what about your gap? You don't have to tell me what your exact gap was, but let me know if you had a gap and if you're happy with that gap. Of course, I'm never happy. I want to always increase that gap, because the more gap I have, that's the more money I have to save and invest that money. And the more I can invest, the more I can earn, and the more money it can earn just on its own. My own money making more and more money. So thanks for sticking to the end. Please click the like button if you got any value from this video, and please subscribe so that you do not miss future videos. Everyone have a great day, and everybody take care.